What's up? What's going on? So, another update, and actually, I'd like to start this update by talking a bit about the 3.7.1 patch notes, which I don't think is only yet, but it's probably gonna be today because it's like Friday, you know. It's like past midnight Friday there in the POE land. And yeah, so the TLDR of this is they fixed a decent amount of bugs. But the bigger thing is that they nerfed the damage of well, we have the blood wall that got nerfed. They're the same guys. They have like targeted ground explosion skill where they just like it was hard to tell what the skill they were doing because the animations pretty much seemed to be equal. Then they reduced the overall amount. Like they just nerfed a lot of the damage that the rare Legion boys do. And while I think this is fine and overall probably a good change, because right now there's some pretty busted damage incomes from them, especially when you have a lot of grouped up them with some auras and shit like that. You'll see people just absolutely getting one shot, which is not actually something we see often. Usually it's like multiple hits in a row, but now we're just like seeing a lot of like actual one shots. And I don't actually remember if Rock Sentinel is the guy that throws the spear. It says projectiles, so it's either the spare boys that they shoot a javelin and then it explodes when it like hits a wall or something like that, which could cause you to get like AoE overlap with multiple projectiles and whatnot. Yeah, so overall I think the nerf is good. I just wish that the animations were a lot slower, so you would actually have time to see them and then try to dodge them, because there's so much like speed modifiers and there's so much shit happening on the screen. So just making them playing a lot slower while keeping the damage could justify the damage that they have. And the shit for like the red wave skill, the blood wall of death, instead of immediately making damage, you have the animation pop up and then after a while it starts doing damage. That could help a lot with getting out of it, etc, etc. But overall the changes are looking good. They fixed a lot of bugs, like some very weird bugs, like the eradicators, where like the eradicator bug where it just like spawned like 15,000 million quadrillion lightning orb, which was kind of amusing. I had that on both of my encounters, and it was scary. It was very funny. But yeah, on top of that, since I died yesterday, we spent leveling a new character, which is Jack, as you can see. And right now, I mean, undeniable, unrelenting, and unyielding. I'm taking unyielding because of the AoE, and it gives some damage. Eventually, this would be respec into unbreakable. And the reason I did Jack is, well, there's a couple reasons. One, I wanted the character to be tanky, so I can do high tier content with leak mechanic. So this isn't like a zoom build, obviously. I would have done like probably Ladder or Slayer for that. It can be respec into various different builds. Like for example, Herald of Agony. Respec wouldn't be that big of a deal. Like it's probably like something like 50, 60 regrets, which eventually, once I get the currency farming and all that rolling, is not gonna be a big deal in the end game. But I could also just level a new character. We'll see. But yeah, right now this is just using access. These are like 270-ish DPS access or something like that. And we are Bladestorm because I wanted to try the new skill. I've been enjoying the Bladestorm a lot. Actually, I'll show you some of the AoE once I get the charges going. The AoE is so actually good enough for me that most of the time I'm just going on the blood stance. So there's my charges. So the AoE is actually pretty decent, right? With sand, it's I'd say it's respectable AoE for a Jack who does no damage. But yeah, I have not decided really what the Endgame 3 is gonna be look like, but eventually this will be a sword crit build. That's why the pathing is like this. So it's just like respect that out, and boom, we take this. This will eventually gonna go all the way here because dexterity is something you need, especially if you want to use foils. And as you can see, I'm like 164, and I have a helmet with 42 dexterity, and a note that gives 20 here. And I got pretty lucky with my but yeah, my gear is pretty whatever on this character. I actually tried to. I slapped this with a pristine with a Ceroded in hopes of getting the maim. Then I would have had, you know, a 6 link from there, and then I would just like actually brute force it into a 6 socket and spend the 350 jewels, whatever. But yeah, right now, as you can see, it has melee physical on the axe, so I have my double strike and on just a war chief there with rage. Rage because usually when I use these supports, I'm already at capped rage. The Bladestorms are really nice in generating rage, even though it's not instant generating, but usually at the time when I need the wall skills, I pop the war. Like I usually pop all of my, you know, wall skills whenever I do monolith, because being a jug and using Bladestorm isn't, you know, it's not easy when it comes to opening them. But I usually can open all of the rares from one side and then maybe 1 or 2 from the other. So I have to travel between, like first I have to travel to the other end, kill them, and then to the other end. And this is an impale build. As you can see, I have the impale node, so I have 100% chance to impale, and I have like 90 something % effect once impale gets quality and high level. So it's actually, the impale effect itself is around like 100% more damage, not quite, but a decent amount. And then the impale support also has more multiplier. I treat a bit with close quarters, and for the initial hit it feels better, but when actually killing any kind of rare monsters, you know, they have like double HP in maps, the impale just feels so much better. But that's one of the reasons why opening the stuff on monoliths isn't the greatest. But yeah, I have a couple skill trees here. Look, let's start with the one that we're going towards right now, and it's a tree where we just, you know, we go into duels. The core is pretty much the same. The core is all the way into Twin Terrors and Thick Skin. Graceful Assault gives you a open suffix on Jewel, something else. It also has some onslaught effect, which is really nice. It's on the path there. It has some evasion and armor and some damage too. That's like 30% damage, right? No, 32% damage and some onslaught effect, which is really nice. We have the Rampart, the Fortify Cluster. I do not take Soul of Steel because it's a 4 points for me. For 4 points, this is not good enough. In fact, for 3 points, I could take Bloodletting for 5% reduced damage taken from bleeding enemies instead. Which also has some damage, which is nice. I have the Tempered Glass here, which is the, you know, the non-upgrade version. That's 70 crit multi. I don't actually have the jewel, but it's not a rare jewel, and I will eventually get it. And for my items, these are like literally white steel rings. We have the Tempered Glass pacifism. I don't have the Unsmites. I'm chanting them right now, and these are like 70%. Yeah, I think that's like 70%. This could go up to like, yeah, it's something like 70%. And I actually have Oscarm, so Oscarm gives a lot of crit. And if you look at here, let's take that out too for now. So we are like what 5.5k accuracy with buffism, which you will use if you go double mites, because of the crazy flat accuracy you get. We go to like 8k, and then Oscarm. Well, it gives a decent amount of stuff, especially crit. And this is a Saber config with literally nothing but enduring charges and maxed out rage, and obviously we are in Bladestorm, and would be a crit build, and maim comes from the Flesh and Stone. So actually we're doing anything here, right? And this is for the attack, right? Then we have 3 Bladestorms on top. And this is completely ignoring Impale with 45 after 6 linked. So the damage is gonna be fine. That's why I didn't like fully complete this, the gear and anything, because I don't know, okay, the damage is gonna be fine. This, like right now, ignoring Impale, we have 3 times the Bladestorm, so that's like what, 64k plus it's like we're talking about like 300 DPS against Saber with 45 main link, which is something I probably don't need to do, and then it goes up quite a bit. And we could make the maim chest. If we slap maim there, it's not level 20 without quality, but it gives you an idea. It adds a decent chunk. So the damage is gonna be fine for a single target, especially because you basically double this with Impale anyways. So there's that. This is most likely the skill tree I'm going to, but there's also other options. So you can go into Templar for more AoE. This also has some more int, which isn't really a big deal. You just need int for the Herald of Purity and nothing else. Oh yeah, I guess I could quickly go over that. So the reservation setup is just Flesh and Stone with maim. We have Blood and Sand, Dread Banner for the Impale stuff. We have Herald Purity and Precision. This is only level 6 now, but as you can see, I have like 102 unreserved mana, so you could bump this up a bit. It has a decent threshold. Like if you go check POE DP, so like POE wiki for the or POE DP, I guess, or you can just look here. So usually it gets like 30 accuracy, but then there's like thresholds, like from going to 10 to 11, so it goes from 385 to 444, and then we have from 15, which is 539, to over 600, and then the last one is at 20 to 21, which is like over 70. So my goal is most likely gonna be in the 11. That we are like we are itching the 10k accuracy, and accuracy is attack speed because they're stuck with undeniable. And obviously this is unbreakable is the endgame node instead of unyielding. So right now the damage is actually even higher if I were to use this. But yeah, so there's 1-3. So there's the Templar version. Then we have Ranger, where you go here and you take the Mana Leech node. This opens a suffix on a jewel, prefix on a jewel, or prefix on a ring, unless you want to go Warlord's Mark. But I have Oscarm here, right, which is giving us like Assassin's Mark, right? But Warlord's Mark is another option if you wouldn't want to use the Oscarm. But this, for 1 point, is such a high quality of life for rolling the 1 or 2 extra jewels you have. And then we have the Final Blade here, and you can actually path this through here as well. Like you can do like 119 points. Oh yeah, all of these skill trees are exactly the same level, so you could do this. It's the exact same amount of points. So all you do is you trade int for dexterity. So that's the difference. But for this specific tree, where you go into here, this is probably what I would want it to be endgame, I think. Because you can get so much good shit on Jewel. That's like literally a life. That's a life prefix on a Jewel. Right now I have a Jewel for Leech that doesn't have life roll because I needed the mana Leech. So you can, this node could be considered to be 7% life. So don't look at it 190. It's more like 197 because of that. Obviously you could have a Jewel with the life and the mana. So in that case, you would just drop that out, right? So it's no big deal. But yeah, since we have Fatal Blade, you take the crit multis out and it's pass through this. You could go here and get damage, but yeah, this is basically the damage skill tree. Then we have, like, yeah, basically there's 3 different options. You can choose what to do, but the base is still the same, pretty much. Also, if you get the upgrade version of the Tempered Flesh, that's a lot of physical damage mitigation. That's like, what, 1, 2, 3, 4? Yeah, so that's 4% physical damage mitigation right there. Just really good, on top of everything else you already have from a jug. But then the thing that I'd potentially wanna do myself. Oh, actually, before we go to two-handers, you can also do. Ideally, you wouldn't use on smite, and that's because if you look at the attack time, it's too. These are just so slow. So these are just like, this will get you going. This will easily get you going. But then we have some random, jewel foils. And now you would get also frenzy charges. Also, this is without power charges. As you can see, they add a lot of crit chance. So obviously foils, and these foils are like random 340. Yeah, this is like literally just bloodthirsty, I think. Where are you, foils? Which is it? Is it this one? Yeah, this is basically just bloodthirsty. No, sorry, cruel, multi-modded. But the issue, as you can see, they regard 212 dexterity. And even with this tree, with going through the dex route instead of the int route, we are at 124. Now, obviously, I had a helm that has like 40 dex, so that would help a lot. But yeah, ideally, you would want to go foils. If you don't have the dexterity, you can drop the foils or a Corsair. So this is exact same rolls, Corsairs. It has a slightly higher like base, like a physical damage, but because we don't need the accuracy. Like, we have so much accuracy that the accuracy here isn't really helping anymore much, and you lose the crit multi, so the damage drops down a bit. The good thing about this is that you can drop the pacifism for another life jewel plus other damage. So yeah, it is better to go with this, and also we get like basically 50% more attack speed. So that's really nice. I ideally want to go with proper swords over the Aunts Mites, but Aunts gives you decent damage, and they don't require you to multi-mod your weapons. These are like, the attack speed is an exalt, the multi-mod is 2 exalts, so my Aunts might be like 1 or 2 divines, and it's like, okay. And then obviously all of these swords that I have here are actually doable. I guess we could slap in some random Skyvas. They aren't horrible either, but they also kinda don't have a crazy amount of attack speed. But yeah. And this is with green sockets. These are green socket Skyvas for the crit multi. You could get 1 blue socket, and that would fix your mana issue, which is kind of cool, I guess. But yeah, and I don't really remember what kind of rolls these are. Oh, this is like actual perfect Skyva, like in terms of damage. Yeah, this is like 100% perfect Skyvas. So yeah, won't be getting those, most likely. Then we have I guess the, well, not ideal. Ideal would be Merciless of Celebration, but that is so stupid rare. Like, you're not gonna get that in Soul Self-Found. But getting this specific Corsair, I've actually rolled multiple times in the past in leagues, or just like found, like I've actually like ID'd multiple flaring of Celebration Corsairs, which now can be multi-modded into like almost 390 DPS. Actually, these go to that if you divide them properly. These are like mediocre rolls, and these give you a decent damage. Now, Corsairs are actually easier to get than Jewel Foils, because Jewel Foils have their higher deck. I mean, I don't think it's not the stat. It's just because they're foil, they have a preference for melee damage rolls. So if you really want to make swords in Soul Self-Found, and you don't have a massive amount of alterations and stuff, you probably want to do Corsairs. There's also, you could also do the flat accuracy jewels. Sorry, I think it's Eternal Blade or Eternal Sword, which is also fine, but it's slower than Corsair, and I prefer speed a lot. It helps stack getting the impales and all that. But yeah, a similar foil, which is flaring of Celebration, obviously is better than the Corsair. Yeah, and again, without impale calculated in, and this is just the attack. You on top of this, you get 3 of these, which is basically this. Basically, you multiply this by like what, 3.5 to get the real DPS, right? Because you get two storms that double it, and then you have another for another 50%. And again, no other gear, no, you know, jewels, nothing really. So I think it's gonna be damage-wise, it's gonna be fine, and I really want defenses, potential for rerolling something else like the Agony, and it's a very generic 3. Like I only have like on this particular 3. On the others, it's you go through these, which gives a bit more. There's also Dervish, which is really strong, but it usually doesn't. It doesn't really add up to the other nodes, and we are so starved on points that you don't really have the points for that. Yeah, I will eventually be. Also, I'm gonna give this POB in the. Oh wait, fuck! I completely forgot the two-hander. The two-hander is the thing I kind of want to do myself. So again, like if you look at the skill tree, you can do basically the same stuff. I probably wouldn't go all the way here with the two-hander because you get the Blade Dancer here, you get Executioner, you could take Wrecking Ball, you have Destroyer, you have just very good generic nodes here, and you can get the life up here anyways without going here. And for that, obviously, we get an Exis Blade, right? And it only needs 131 deck, so that's easy to obtain. And this is, you know, Flaring of Celebration again. Ideally, you would roll for either Shaper or Elder. Probably Elder because Fortify. But crafting that shit in Soul Self-Found might be extremely hard. Because you need the Fortify, and then you need a good physical damage roll on top of that. But that would be something. And again, you can get the main chest, which just bumps up the damage. Ideally, you would get the Elder or Shaper one. You could get Shaper for the double damage, which is not bad at all, but the Fortify is better, so Elder. And I think you can actually, if you're really ballsy, you can go and you could go and try to corrupt for Fortify, I guess. Good luck with that, but you could. So yeah, there's that. And this would allow you to use Calm's Heart, which is nice. But at the same time, all of the goodies that we are given now, that's a lot of sockets we need to spend. So I probably still use a, you know, body armor with sockets, especially because you can make such a nice, you can make such a good body armors now with pristines and, you know, elder. It's so easy to make, and rather it's also helpful. Rather make the body armor so that you can actually roll the weapon for pure damage instead of trying to like alt out for a fortify and then, you know, scuffed roll instead of go for the main chest, I think. But this is what I would really like it to be in a game. I don't know why. I kind of want to go two-handers, and you could go cyclone with this too. That's another thing. We actually have all of the we have all the range. Wait, I'm not sure why I don't have this. It should be like that. Take this. But you're good for here if you want to go cyclone. So this could play. It could be like an actual cyclone jack too, which is kind of interesting. But yeah. While I was leveling this character, I obviously took the training rod again. I am planning to re-level the ED. I'm probably gonna end up making this character like 85 to 90 maximum. If I don't have the weapons and stuff to go crit at that time, then I'll just reroll. Because I don't want to play, you know, non-crit forever. And it's not really worth going crit until I get at least like 250 DPS swords with decent crit. But like I said, the respec is very, very small. We're talking about like 5, like 9. That's like 9 points. Eventually, probably get rid of Dervis and versatility. I might need to take hard knocks for 1 point. We'll see. We'll see how it ends up going. But those are the plans. And yeah, I'll see you guys later.